Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about the cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles and the dogs. Come on, puppies, let's go. Come on, let's get over the barn. Come on, Scout. Where's Scout? Scout, get, no, no, come on. You ain't getting in the garbage. No, come on, let's go. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning into my channel this morning. If you're new or you're the regular, appreciate the support. And wow, beautiful weather here. Cold. I mean, it's cold. So come on, let's go. So, wow, look at that over there. Look at the dog. The dogs are having so much fun playing with each other, but it's cold out here. Would your eyes believe that? Would your eyes believe today, seeing all the greenery, the springtime effect, would you believe it's like the 40s? Yeah. Would your eyes deceive you of what I am looking at right now? I mean, look at this here. The fleet is back. Come on, Will. Yeah, so anyways, what are we doing? I tell you what, every morning I get up, I'm just so fixated on so many things going on in my life. I forget to shave every morning. I mean, I'm not lying. I'll get in the kitchen and be making breakfast and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot to shave again. Willow! That Willow dog, so he's gonna get spanking. He is bad. I mean, and he's already been out this morning, so it's so aggravating. He is taking off over here and doing his own business. Willow! Willow! Borderline needs to lock his butt up in the house. Get over here! Get in there! Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh, drove around the Bronco yesterday. I just love my Bronco. I really do, but I tell you what, my knee is killing me this morning. I'm getting to be an old man. My left knee is killing me. And the reason is because you have to take and put your left knee here and lift your body up into this vehicle. It's if you're a little, I mean, you can't be a wimp. Be a wimp to own this stuff. I mean, I'm not lying to you. This stuff is radical. Yeah, people are like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, my left leg, it's no different. I drove like the stick shift Challenger one time, and like the next day my left leg was just killing me. And after a while I was like, what is that all about? Yeah. What's that all about? Yeah, it's called being an old man. All right, everybody. The Raptor, just a great riding vehicle. I mean, those things are just so nice. Come on, pups. Let's go. Get up here. Come on, go. Get up here. You know, you fall down the stairs of your dogs. Wasn't heard those stories. All right. Got the kid coming to work today. I forget my morning routine going. And got the crew here, right? Troublemakers. All of them. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, what are we talking about today? You know, it's just the same old story. I just kind of like to just talk. Maybe notice? You notice that? Yeah, so, thoughts today. Actually, I had different ideas. I had additives. So, I was going to talk about today, but I thought, why don't we talk about the eyes? I thought to myself, if anybody here is staying tuned to what's going on here recently, your eyes. Are your eyes lying? I think to myself more than ever, we live in an age where it's like magic. You know, that is the trick to magic, is that you think you see something, but really isn't what you think you're seeing. Yeah, and I mean that's part of the magic. How they deceive you to think you're gonna expect to see something, and they catch you off guard if they're doing something else. When I was a kid in Los Perales Elementary School in Moraga, California, Los Perales was the name of the elementary school. That was back in like 71, 72 through 76. And I remember taking magic, and I so wanted to be a magician. I really did. I really was so intrigued by the magic. And so here I got a guy. The guys were supposed to go pick up my Mustangs in Tennessee today. So there's a transfer guy that's got to be down there getting the Mustangs to get my two GT500 Mustangs, or officially will be bye-bye today. And they're bringing them up to Baltimore. I have such a strong relationship with Kuhn's Baltimore Ford that they have not seen the cars. They're just they know who I am, and we did a whole deal, sight unseen these cars, and then they're going to go pick them up and bring them back to their dealership. That's all part of the deal to get that Ford Bronco Raptor. So, yeah, will their eyes be wide when they see the cars all damaged and I lied to them? Yeah, no, that's not the case. Now, if the transport guy does it, that's on his ticket, not mine. So, I just thought to myself, wow, our eyes more than ever, I say to myself, more than ever, it seems like your eyes are lying, but the truths are spoken. Think that through. More than ever, are your eyes lying, but the truth you heard are spoken. So, yeah, we get into deep variables, all that. But so here's the thing. Let's talk about the cars. Keep the car theme going here on my YouTube channel. And my seat, so funny, my seat has gone down. So maybe I'm shrinking down. So anybody here watching my channel, I'm not like towering down, looking over you. I'm shrinking down. I'm getting shorter. So, Jesus Christ. Does anybody follow? If you saw Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson, this stuff, it's movie material. What we're witnessing in today's media machine, it's movie material. And last week, what did I say? I said last week, when Dan Bongino was let go, here we go. And I said last week, when the Dominion Voting won the defamation suit, I said, here you go. Watch the personalities start to disappear. So, can you believe what you're witnessing with your eyes? So let's just keep with the cars. So more than ever, today's technology is cars are assisting our eyes. And somebody be like, well, how can you say that? Well, it's pretty cool because these cars today have crash avoidance. They have alerts. They have cameras on these cars to help see around the vehicle. We have the infrared. We have the night, vision. We have the radar systems in them. So today's cars, in so many aspects, have helped us drive our cars hopefully safer to help our eyes see the road. And just like for the Blue Cruise and my Fords, in so many aspects, that's really cool because the vehicle has its own eyes to a degree to supposedly drive down the road and kind of take away a little bit of the fatigueness. There's no doubt when I go on long trips, having the Blue Cruise, the adaptive cruise control, the massaging seats, if you have the right package, that's really nice comfort features that help you, in my views, in own experience, is you're not as tired when you're done driving because you've had all this assistance in helping you see things go down the road. So for us, it's pretty cool in how we're evolving into technology more than ever that your car is your eyes. And then the mapping systems, the Waze, the Apple Maps, Google Maps, how many ever different types of GPS, all that stuff, in so many ways, those are our eyes because, wow, this heater is so hot. I gotta kind of turn this thing another way. Wow, I think it's like burning me up. So, in so many ways, the navigation, who doesn't remember that's in my age group, when you had a map, you literally had to read with your eyes a map, and you really had to make mental notes of where you're going, and you'd have to constantly look at your map again or pull over side of the road, and you get turned around. But more so today, the Waze is your eyes because it shows the accidents up the road, shows the police up the road, it shows maybe a broken down car on the side of the road or construction. There's a lot of things that are your eyes that help you navigate through the roads and traffic. So there's another another tool that we have in our traveling capabilities. That's what it's all about. Once you get your car, you're in the travel mode. And once you become in that travel mode, you really do need to be more aware and more cognizant than ever of using your eyes. But what's incredible is how today the distractions with our eyes of driving cars is through the roof. It's through the roof of people looking at their phones, electronic devices, more than ever as they drive down the road. Isn't that something? I mean, think this through. More than ever in our lifetime, the way we travel is being distracted at record numbers of taking your eyes off the road and paying attention to your responsibilities to drive a vehicle. And it's bad. I mean, it's extremely bad because people pull out in front of people run people over, people crash into people drift into the lane, people hog the lane. I mean, it's infinite of all the different variables that where people's eyes don't focus on what's the most important part of being behind the wheel of a vehicle, and that is operating a vehicle. And everybody here that's on the road can just raise their hand and start telling their stories of how aggravating it is that you've been on a road with somebody that's not paying attention to driving their vehicle, and they're more paying attention to looking at their device. Yeah. Wow. So, in so many ways, here's what's interesting. BYD, Build Your Dream. That's a Chinese automotive manufacturer it's going to be a serious Tesla competitor. And they're attacking, in so many ways, Tesla. And the most recent statements from BYD is, I think Warren Buffett is an investor in that company over in China. Have you seen the latest? Elon Musk is now bringing China-made cars to Canada. I wonder how Canada feels about that. Yeah. Does anybody remember that Justin Trudeau went to China to talk to the China, what's it, XI, ZI, however you pronounce it, and the guy basically was like, ping! And we remember those conversations. So you see that media thing? Yeah. So, yeah, BYD, they're calling out Elon Musk, in their eyes, the pipe dream. Yeah, the fantasy dream. So they're saying the reality of autonomous driving vehicle in any near future time, if even ever, is not practical. Yeah. So key people that are part of the BYD organization that manufacture cars and technology, they're calling out Elon Musk, saying this idea that you're going to have self-driving vehicles without human interaction, it's not coming anytime soon. There's just no way. And if you live on the roads, you can just really agree to that in so many aspects. There's so many variables. There's just so many variables that play out on roads. I witness all the doggone time. I mean, it's just incredible. And I'm on the roads a lot. I mean, like yesterday, there was this guy in this little Fiat 500 silver car, totally blends into the road. And I was coming up a road, and it was perfect position of the cars that were in front of me and other cars coming, and a bigger vehicle, and this little Fiat was hidden. So as I was getting ready to make a left-hand turn, at the last second, that Fiat 500 populates up the road for me to realize, and I never, you can, when you're in the right dynamics of driving down the road, you can see 100 yards up the road of what's kind of going on in front of you and what's approaching you when you know you're going to make a left-hand turn. And at the last second, this Fiat 500 just came out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, that's the danger of motorcyclists. If you get in these blind spots behind vehicles on the oncoming traffic, and somebody's not really does a double take before they make a left-hand turn, it's over. I mean, wow. Sadly, the Indian dealer that I deal with down in Bristol, Virginia, one of my good sales friends there, he just lost a personal friend from a motorcycle accident here in Virginia, Southern Virginia, where two guys were on two of his friends were on Harleys. It was a road glide, and they're going down the road, And this 80-year-old woman, right at the last second, just pulls right out in front of him and kills him. Just like that. No skid marks, nothing. So they're just going on the road. And I know this. When I ride my motorcycles, you come up on these intersections and you're just thinking, man, you should only hope that this person really is paying attention. Because the last second they pull out, it's over. You're done. It's really sad. He was the president of a chapter that was doing a huge cancer fund for his little kid, little baby that has severe cancer. And he was in charge of this weekend's big get-together of a ride to raise monies for this family to help their child. And so my friend at the Indian Motorcycles, State Line Indian, Friendship Indian, now he's going to have to probably do the be the leader of the ride, which is very, very challenging time. And there you go. It's the eyes. It's just an older person's eyes in Florida. My dad's at the age that I think every 6 months now, he's 91, I think every 6 months now, he has to go to his eye doctor and has to be evaluated if he's allowed to still have his license. And my father's very concerned about that because he's progressing. And once again, if the doctor evaluates my father of not having vision that meets the Florida guidelines to have a license, my father could possibly lose his license, which he's very concerned about that. And my dad's vision, is good, but at the same time, as you progress, and that's something that's very interesting. Joe Biden has announced he's going to run for re-election. And has anybody ever noticed, older people's eyes, you can see in their eyes that they're older because of the way their eyes and they look. And what I say is, I think once you hit like 80 years old, I think 1 year increments are like a 3-year increment. And then as you kind of get a little older, you hit your 85, 1 year is like a 5-year increment. I think when you hit your mid to late 80s, it turns into like an 8. And what I mean by that is I think that you age faster. I think you start to see a lot more things change versus when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s. You just don't see like radical change, a little change. But I think once you hit your 80s, I think that, your body just starts to change faster of aging. And so I think this is pretty incredible that Joe Biden wants, first of all, he's not done with this term yet, but you're talking about, I don't even know how, is Joe Biden like 80, 81? I haven't even looked it up. But you're talking about, if that was the case, then you're talking about having a sitting president that would be in power when he's maybe 87 or 88 years old. Is that really, wow. Yeah, do we believe this with our eyes? Will you believe that election? At the end of the day, will you believe that one of the oldest people ever has been elected to the office of the President of the United States? Yeah, wow. So on the car side, though, back to the cars, motorcycles, even BMW now has adaptive cruise, I believe. I'm just not following the BMW product, but I know a few years ago they're talking about putting adaptive cruise control on motorcycles. And boy, I tell you what, I don't know about that idea. I don't think that's a great idea because these vehicles can overreact. Like in my adaptive cruise vehicles, you have somebody kind of pull in front of you, and that car sometimes overreacts. So it really does a really abrupt kind of like slowdown. So I don't think I'd be too comfortable on a motorcycle. When you're doing like 60, 70 miles an hour going on the highway, somebody cuts in front of you, and it's not like you're going to run into them, but the bike thinks you are. The bike does a really hard, slow down. I'm not so sure that I would enjoy that type of technology. I just can't really see. I can't see that. But anyways, the whole point is manufacturers, Honda is trying to design a motorcycle that has its own like balancing capability. So, because as you get older on motorcycles, it's your skills. It's for you as you get older in life, you just don't have the same physical skills, your equilibrium, there's just things that start to change. And you don't really understand that until you hit your 50s and 60s. And that's why I hear some of these people out there, they're 80 years old riding a motorcycle. I'm like, that's pretty damn impressive. 70s. That's pretty doggone impressive. You're 74, 75, that you have the strength and the health and well being and all those skills that you feel confident on riding that motorcycle. Because that's the same. When you get these motorcycles, if you're not really confident, then you've already made a mistake. That's the challenge. But you better be really confident of knowing what you're riding and knowing where you're going, because it's a confidence builder. And if you're fearful, then you don't know where you're going. I mean, isn't that kind of the way life works? And that's the makes, I think, separates the winners versus the losers. Is the winners, they've got a mapped out plan of exactly how things are going to play out and how they're going to make it all work and overcome the challenges. The losers, they get confused. If you get confused and you're disoriented and you don't understand your environment, then you're taking advantage of. And that, speaking of that, I saw on Twitter last night that Ukraine flew a drone to Moscow. Yeah. So the Ukraine's now saying, hey, it's like, hello, Moscow, we're here. So now you got to save Ukraine. I mean, think about this. Ukraine war, more than ever, is not a... The Ukraine war, more than ever... I'm sorry, it's not Ukrainians, it's us. I mean, it's so much of our technology that we're fighting this war, and that's why we're in such a fine line, I think. You know, don't let your eyes deceive you that Ukraine's, I mean, most people understand this. We're giving Ukraine billions of dollars to fight a war against Russia. In so many aspects, we're in the war. I mean, yeah, don't let your eyes deceive you on that one. And that's why it's a very fine line where Russia, you know, when does Russia, I would have to say, if Ukraine invades Moscow, it's going to be, I think, does Putin get radical and retaliate on us? It's been awful quiet for our country. If you think it through, it's been awful quiet. I mean, so you got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes, because it's just, sadly, it's just a mean world out there. And is there something brewing that we're just all, our eyes don't see it, right? Just like the Nord Stream pipeline. You know, what are the eyes telling us on that one? Where's that all tracing back to, right? Yeah, so the car industry, it seems like more than ever, the car automotive industry is on the page of let's help people see better and drive better and be safer on technologies that we can put in these vehicles to help people want to look at their phone all day long, right? I mean, in so many aspects, you have to say borderline. But even though when I'm in my vehicles and if that vehicle on Blue Cruise is on, doesn't, you know, per se, the infrared isn't seeing my head position and my eyes focus on what I'm doing down the road, it starts making noises, and it will turn itself off if you don't pay attention to the road. And it's a constant. The steering wheel is self-driving, but then all of a sudden it turns off. And what happens is, the way the roads are mapped, when you come to these major like interstate roadway infrastructures, a lot of times because of so much oncoming traffic or getting off, the way it's mapped, it turns off the Blue Cruise. So even though the road's wide open, but you just come up to these major, you know, intersections of major highways that are meeting each other, and the Blue Cruise turns off. You have to go back to the hands-on driving. Oh my goodness gracious! Wow. So here's what drove this idea this morning at the last second. I was going to talk about additives and kind of relate the additives to all the supplements we take for, you know, all these additives to these cars, but then the last minute I thought, boy oh boy, what is going on more than ever in the media machine, and we're witnessing some high-profile people being eliminated from their positions with media companies. And I just think it's all about the eyes. And what somebody thought they saw seems to be lies. I mean, isn't that kind of where we are today? That more than ever, what you think you're seeing that seems so wrong, but yet you're told that your eyes are lying to you because it's not really that wrong. You're just looking at that the wrong way. And even to the point that Fox News, they just had a major defamation suit that's costing them a lot of money from the eyes from what people thought they saw versus what we think is the truth or not the truth. I mean, it's radical. It's big. And what's really interesting is I never have really been a Tucker Carlson guy. I mean, I just don't sit around and watch the news. I just don't really do it. And I mean, I just don't have the time for it, nor do I want to have the time for it, nor do I want to get into the brainwashing of what you have somebody tell you all day long what they think is right or wrong. But here's what's really surprising to me. I mean, I'm not lying to you. I'm hearing that Tucker Carlson hated Donald Trump. I never knew that. I read this last night. And because I was trying to figure out why did they let Tucker Carlson go? And then he had Sidney Powell apparently on his show, and he demanded that she provide proof of the so-called election challenges. I mean, so for me, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that Tucker Carlson, he was really going after the claims of the stolen election. Wow. I mean, in all reality, I thought that Tucker Carlson was more on the page of calling out the others versus calling out those who said it was. I mean, wow. Isn't that crazy? So that's interesting. And then Don Lemon has been let go from CNN from apparently racist marks. I mean, so wow. You step back. You're just saying, wow, what is going on? I mean, once again, are your eyes lying to you? But yet you listen to people that's on the media machine and their presentation of what they're telling you that you saw or didn't see. I mean, isn't that kind of what it is? Look at Dan Bongino. Same thing. I don't know. I mean, Dan Bongino, he's had a huge following, but it's just like the hate. All I see on Twitter is just a constant, hate. Isn't that something? So on Twitter, I go to Twitter. So that's kind of where I'm getting all stuff now. Before, I was never a Twitter person, and Elon Musk has obviously paid a lot of money to, I guess, open our eyes up to see that our eyes aren't lying, or are they? I mean, and that's the challenge. And that's for me. That's where I'm just kind of getting my information, and then and for me, I'm not going down the rabbit hole on my YouTube channel to attack anybody, to protect anybody. I'm just not going to. There's no way. I'm not doing it. I'm just sharing on how, in my conversation this morning, on how more than ever we're witnessing people are distracted with their eyes driving vehicles, and it just resonates right back into the media machine of our country that your eyes are distracted of what you think you see versus what you do see. And now major media personalities seem to be getting removed from their position of what their eyes are trying to tell everybody else, that so many don't think that what they're seeing is what they see. I mean, isn't that kind of what it's all about? Wow. Now, another note here's GM. I wonder what these YouTube guys, to me, there's so many YouTube guys out there that their every day is the end of the day. There's just so many that are telling people that it's over, economy's done, the housing crash, the car market crash, the economy crash. And it's like these guys that have these YouTube channels, they just can't wait till this all plays out so they can prove that what they preach every day with their eyes is going to be the facts. But here's General Motors, just posted, beat everybody's expectations first quarter in sales. General Motors, key individual that is representing the company for the media conversations of their financial conditions, he's like, we're strong. We're not seeing a pullback. We are now averaging $50,739 average price for our cars. The consumers still want our cars. We're not going to lower the price of our EV vehicles. The market's strong. And we see incredible growth and incredible profits that will continue through 2023. Yeah. Now, even for me, I would have told you a year ago, no way. I'd be like, no way can this economy sustain itself. Hey, I was at Coons Baltimore Ford on Saturday. They sold 25 vehicles. I mean, okay, I have a friend of mine I just talked about that works at an Indian motorcycle dealership, Friendship Indian in Bristol, Virginia. They're selling motorcycles like crazy. They're not seeing one bit of a slowdown of anybody pulling back to buy a motorcycle. They're low on inventory. They actually need motorcycles. Wow. So it's incredible. And I don't watch, I used to kind of watch all these guys' videos, but it's the same theme. It's the dire straits of what's to come. It's always about tomorrow. It's always about tomorrow. It's always about tomorrow. Now the big talk is the commercial real estate industry's in a tank because so many people don't go to offices anymore. But at the same time, there's areas that are just dismantling these commercial buildings and making them into condos and apartments. So it's just so many. So, what do your eyes see? What do your eyes see versus what the truth or what is spoken? So which is more powerful? Are your eyes more powerful than your words? Or are your eyes weaker than your words? It's just wow. I guess what we're witnessing more than ever. Can anybody here just kind of relate with what you see? You just kind of scratch your head of what plays out. Yeah, pretty incredible. So anyways, we're going to leave it at that. Got a busy day here. And what are we doing today, right? What are your eyes going to witness with the Iceman today? And if you follow my channel, I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, yeah, for all the things that play out in the future in this channel, I'd tell you, even I didn't foresee that happening. Yes, I'm not embellishing here. I'm just telling you the facts. And even for me, 2 weeks ago, if I had told you I'm going to have 5 vehicle purchases here in the next week, I'd have been like, there's just no way. What's going to play out? Yeah, I hear you. Hey, that Ford Mustang Ember Blue Dark Horse I ordered, that's going to be pretty cool. So if you're following, or if you stay tuned, I don't like that word following. I've been taught by other YouTubers. If you stay in tune with my channel, or if you watch my channel, I, on Saturday, ordered, and this is what's so crazy, is on Saturday, it was Friday night, and Saturday morning, I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I got to thinking, what could I do, another vehicle deal, 2 for 1 or something, which it turned out to be 1 for 1, and the vehicles I really wanted to get rid of aren't the vehicles that really played out that I wanted to get rid of, but it played out anyways. But the whole point is, what's really weird is the day turned into a long day. And, as the day dragged on, I was so ready just to leave. But at the last moment, I thought, why not order a Ford Mustang Dark Horse? Now, what intrigued that? Kind of for me, like, I haven't really even followed the 2024 Mustangs. I just didn't want to get caught up and want to go buy one of those things. I'm not lying. Just like the Ford Bronco Raptor. I didn't follow that damn thing. I just didn't want to get caught up and want to think, fixate not to go buy one of those damn things. Well, so as I'm sitting around dealership, we just started talking, and I'm thinking, I let go of my GT500s. And, then I'm like, you know what? It doesn't hurt to order the vehicle, but I could get it or not. So we started talking, and Coons Baltimore Ford, the first thing that came out of the guy's mouth was, you're going to pay over MSRP. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just order the car. Can I actually get one? He's like, well, we have 6 allocations. And so, yeah, we'll give you one. We'll give you one of the allocations. So that's pretty cool. But apparently there's already people out there that are already trying to flip these things, that are trying to get allocations from different dealers, and they're just going to try to get them to flip them. So anyways, the Dark Horse, it's the new Ember Blue, that apparently the paint transitions to a little different look as you have different angles on it, I guess. So anyways, I got the premium GT package, and some guys already called me out for getting the cloth vinyl seat. I don't want the Recaro seats. I can't stand Recaro seats. I cannot sit in a Recaro seat car for more than an hour. I just can't stand it. So yeah, I'll take. I can always put Recaro seats in. I mean, hello. You can always do something else. You can take the seats out, put something else in. I mean, hello, right? I mean, anyways, so that'll be very interesting if that thing comes. I don't even know when they're supposed to start building it. My gut instinct right now is that would be August, September, maybe, or late fall. So I don't know. Hey, I'll talk all day. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate the support, nice comments, and stay tuned, stay safe, and God bless.